Hello everyone, this is Kalyan from BlackBox Tech, and in today's episode I will discuss about Microsoft Cognitive Services. They have several kind of services within which I will discuss today about one of the very important API called Content Moderator API, in which it generally screens the text and find out any wrong word out of it and mark it for a review. So without further ado, let's get started. So before start, you need to create a free account in Microsoft Azure portal. So they generally provide a $200 credit and the service is free in certain limits. So once you create a free account, so we will need to log into that portal.azure.com and you will be in the screen. From here you can create a resource. So within this search thing you can actually search for Content Moderator, and if you click this create button, then actually you will be creating a service. From the drop down you need to choose the location of that particular service. In our case, I have already created this service. So in this dashboard, if I click this, then within the overview section, you will see like this is a free trial, and location I have chosen West US, and it gives us few of the options and also a endpoint URL which will be required when you hit these services. And also this is a quota info, like how much call is left and how many calls you can do within this time limit. So in this key section you will have your API key, which you can actually refresh to regenerate, and you can copy this. One of the key you need only, so you can copy either one of the keys from this. Also in this quick start section you will have many options. So here Content Moderator API reference. So if you click this, then you will have options like what all different options you have within these APIs. There are image moderation APIs, like from image it can scan for adultery content and filter out and let the moderator know like this need a moderation. Also text moderation API, from scan it will scan the text and find any terms or any words that is need a moderation. So for this today's tutorial I will be using this text moderation API, and if you click this text moderation API reference, then you will be taken to a dashboard where you can actually test your API. So you need to use the West US because during creation of the API I have used this West US. So if you click West US and you have to have your key in hand, then you can actually test this API. So within the subscription key you need to add your subscription, that key, and then you can actually test these things. Now so let me show you like what actually will today create. So you can see this is a simple form where you can write some text. So if you see, if there is any text need moderation or there is a bad word, it will be filtered out and it's marking as red, and if there is no moderation needed, so it will be not highlighted. So the idea is like whenever some user writing a comment, this will be sent for a review, and only after moderator approves then will be shown as public. Here in this example I'm just marking as red for the sake of time and brevity. So you can actually do this, like this will be not at all display until unless moderator approve that from the backend. So now let's jump in the code. For accessing this Microsoft Azure API, they have different kind of language support, like you can use C#, Node.js or anything. So today I will be using Node.js for that, and also I am using a Microsoft Azure Cognitive Service API called this is the cognitive services. So this is not official Microsoft API, but some fellow developers have done this, and it's a very easy to use. And you can even like but they don't have a good documentation. But yes, like if you download their code and clone their complete code, you will have better understanding. Like it's very easy to use and understanding. So they have given one of the examples, but from this you can have an idea like how it can be used. And they have some test directory. In that directory they have few of the tests from where you can understand like what all things you can actually use. So to run that, it's need to be in npm install and save, and then you are ready to go. So now let's jump into the code. So first of all, I am using NestJS here as the Node.js framework. So I have a folder called comments, and I have two controller. One is comment controller and one is moderator controller. I'm using two services here. One is the Microsoft Azure, and also I'm using a service called Pusher. So in the Pusher service, they provide a real-time communication of the messaging. We'll be also using a sentiment analyzer from Pusher services. So sentiment analyzer means it will also check the text and it will analyze the sentiment. Based on that, we'll be showing some emoticons or icons based on that. So that's the thing. So let's go through the comment service first. In the comment service, I have within the service, I have a simple method add comment, and it will have use pusher services, and then we have added pusher APIs and all. And when someone hit the message, that you actually are triggering the pusher services and passing the comment as a payload. And in the moderator services, I am using this cognitive services Node.js API, and here from the same comment, when you are writing in text area, that data, I am taking that data, and then I am first making it stringify, and this data.comment, whatever I actually need the text. And for request URI, my location is West US. So this is the URL West API Cognitive Microsoft Services.com, and header I'm using text plain, and these are the parameters. Like these are the default parameters. Out of that, this language actually is required, and others are optional, but you can pass. But this classify is needed, so it will let you know if the moderation is needed or not. So this you need to pass here, and then I'm triggering this. I'm in this constant. I'm using new cognitive service and content moderator, passing the API key and this endpoint here, this request URI, the complete URI, and I'm hitting this mod client.screen text parameter body header, and this is actually promise. So from this controller, I have created a route called moderate. So when this message will be sent to this endpoint, this will call that service, and this check comment, I'm passing the data, and then within this promise I'm getting the response back, like if the moderation is needed or not, and then I'm returning that JSON to the front end. So that send response. And for the front end, I am using actually here I'm using EJS, and but we are using view here. So in the main.js, in the view, so I have a review needed array and also the comments array. So this whenever a new comments coming, I'm pushing to that response. I'm pushing this array to this comment, comments array, and then when someone hits enter within this method, post comment method will trigger, and then this 13, this means enter, and now within that this commented message I'm just passing it, and I'm this we have two endpoint from our backend. One is comment and moderate. So for this moderate, I'm again like whatever response I'm getting, I'm just adding it into this review needed array. And this view, this index.js, this is very easy. Like I've just looped through the comment here and also taking a index, so I can match the index between the message and also the response returned from cognitive service. So, and also I have added a class, so review needed, and it will only happen when this returns true. So this review needed, if you go to main.js, I'm just data dot classification and review recommended. This is actually returned a boolean, true or false. So I have binded the UI with that. So only when there is a bad words and Microsoft Azure returns a boolean of true, this will be added, and through CSS I'm just marking it red. So that's very simple, and it's this comment.message will be the message, and also this mood is coming from pusher sentiment analysis. So that's a pretty simple code, and to run it you just need to write npm start dev. So I'm just running dev, and once you start it, then actually we'll have presented with this page. So one thing to note, like you are using this API, sorry, this Node Cognitive Service API, one thing is missing from their services. So actually I have added that personally, because in this comment section, if you go to these moderator services, so this classify parameters is missing in their library. So I have added that personally. So if you go to node modules and then under cognitive services dist, and then under vision content moderator.js, so this is their API. So one thing to note, actually they have missed that parameter somehow. So I have added that manually. So they have these parameters like language, autocorrect, PII, list ID. This classify I have added it manually, and also I have raised an issue in their GitHub, like this classify parameter for content moderation not available. So for now I have added that manually. If you don't want to clone that from npm, one thing you can do from their repository, just clone that item and manually build by adding that particular parameters and then build yourself. So that's a good that's one of the idea. So I hope you like it. So it should be a series of the tutorials for Microsoft Azure services. So this is the first installment. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching. Please share, like and subscribe. Thank you.